folks, welcome aboard the channel. I'm Don, this is Rockin' the Country. I am doing part 4 of episode 2 of the 50th anniversary celebration of Bill Anderson's career. And Bill Anderson is still with us. I think he's 88. This was done when he was, I think, 72 years old. I think this was done in 2010. And it's a gift of funRonni. funRonni made a gift for me to do this 90-minute episode. This is episode 2. I've already done episode 1 and 3. Those were broken down into 6 parts. But she made a gift for me to do the 6-parters. So, Ronnie, thank you for this gift. I hope you're feeling better. I feel bad for you up there. Upstate New York, of course, they got drilled with, I don't know, almost 2 feet of snow. You're used to that, though. That's upstate New York. You guys get a lot of snow, but still, when you're not feeling well, too, I don't know. And then the winter doldrums can set in a little bit where you're kind of landlocked, and all that can affect our moods. So this thing absolutely improves our mood. So let's do it. Starting off with Roy Clark.
Wow. Singing in front of the maestro. You'll notice that I have taken the liberty on some of the high notes, but you know I could do it in my prime.
He's one of the best guitarists of all time, Roy Clark.
I reached out my arms and I touched you with soft words. I whispered your name. I had your love on the tips of my fingers, but that was as close as I came. My eyes had a vision of sweet lips touching beneath my command. I had your love on the tips of my fingers, but I let it slip right through my hands. But I let it slip right through my hands. Somebody took you when I wasn't looking, and I should have known from the start that it's a long, long way from the tips of my fingers to the love hidden deep in your heart, to the love hidden deep in your heart. I had you right on the tips of my fingers, but I let you slip right through my hands. Yes, I let you slip right through my hands.
Yeah.
And Bill wrote this. I wonder if Charlie Clark's going to be singing this one too.
Can't beat that with a
Well,
stick.
I was only part of what? To this date, there's been how many recordings of the tips of my fingers?
I don't know. It's been a hit 5 different times in the United States. Can I share with y'all one of the greatest lines? Roy Clark said one of the funniest things I ever heard a human being say.
Sure.
You cut that about 1963.
I think you hit it on the head. Yeah.
Okay, Steve Wariner did it virtually 30 years later.
Right.
And I'm sure over the years you had a lot of other hit songs, and you know, as time goes by, you start performing different songs in your stage show. Right. Steve Wonder's record is like #1. Steve and I are standing backstage at the Opry, and Roy comes in. He comes walking down the hall, and he never looks, he never says hello to me, he never says hello to Steve. He walks right between us, and he gets to us, he says, "I put it back in the act."
I had to.
That was a great line, man.
Word got out that I had done it. I had to put it back.
You know, another thing, when I cut it the first time, and the way I wrote it, it was the tip of my fingers. And Roy cut it as tips, and it kind of became a debate about
Joe Allison, I think he had studied something in college or something about proper this, that, or the other. And you and he had a conversation. I won't say an argument, but a conversation.
No, he was right.
Was proper. Was it tips of my fingers or tip of my fingers? And
well,
Joe,
I think tips is really correct. I'll tell you another funny little story. One time...
He finally got in, Joe.
One time, because Gene Shepard had a good record on
Great
tips.
record on it.
One time, when Steve Warner was producing an album on me, on Warner Brothers, we got myself and you and Eddie Arnold and Gene and Steve, the 5 of us that had cut it, we all got in the studio together. Steve worked up this incredible arrangement with all the modulations and everything, and we cut it together. But here was what was so wonderful, it was outstanding to me. I sang the first part. I had long since decided it was tips of my fingers, so I sang tips. You came in, you sang tips. Eddie was next. He sang the tip of my finger.
Oh, very proper.
He was not going to change for any of us. And I thought that was so cool and spoke volumes about Eddie Arnold.
You did.
That was the way he did it, and that was the way it was going to be.
It should have been compilation.
Was I proud to be
record
part of
the
that
year.
group?
I was too, Roy. What, Gene?
It should have been the compilation record of the year.
Yeah.
Thank
With
you.
all of
Y'all
us.
did a wonderful job on it. You really did.
I told
so
Steve,
proud
I said,
of
I
that.
can't change there. Me and him are the only ones singing the same key.
That's right, you did.
All the rest of you turkeys sang in a different key.
Thank
It's a
you,
great
Roy.
record.
Bless your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy.
I want to say one other thing, if I may, and out of total respect. This is the first country band I've heard in years. And what a pleasure it is to watch this talent without a whole lot of things added to it. Pure music.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you again.
Hey, Roy, I have a question for you. Over here, Vinny.
Roy.
I'm sorry, what
I wanted to ask you how the transition was for you. I know you probably always were a singer, but you were also mostly known as a guitarist, as an instrumentalist. What was it, this song that turned you into the singer?
You know, I never really thought about it, but now that you bring it up, I'm sure that it did. It proved to me, I never was thinking that I need any proof, but it did prove to me that they would accept me as a singer. I could have a successful record. Mm-hmm. And that did add to a whole lot of recordings vocally through the years. I never thought of that, Vince. That's great.
I just brought the question up. I just brought the question up because there are not a lot of musicians, really, gifted musicians, singers, and I kind of wanted to ask that for my own benefit.
Well,
just
bless your
because-
heart. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I felt like my only way to really have a chance was to sing. I didn't think anybody was going to ever notice me so much as a musician.
Really?
Seriously, you know what I mean, though.
Eric Clapton, I've said this before, but you may have missed it, not on this, but on other songs. But Vince got a phone call from Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton, who's considered to be one of the best guitarists of all time, too, and certainly an innovator, he, every other year, held a festival of guitarists who he considered to be among the best guitarists. And Vince got a call. And Vince, I remember seeing an interview with Vince where he was talking about it. I may have even reacted to it here on the channel, where he was talking about when he got the phone call, he thought a friend of his was playing a prank. on him, imitating Eric's voice. But it was Eric Clapton on the phone. And and Vince was so humbled but so grateful that Eric had told Vince, essentially, I know you're a performer and sell out all these arenas and stuff, but he said, and your voice and everybody sees that, but you're a guitarist first and foremost. And Vince was so glad that somebody saw that in him because they were seeing all this other stuff. So when he finally accepted that it really was Eric Clapton on the phone, Eric was like, I'm having this festival. And Vince was like, when do you need me there? I'll be there. But that's why when Vince just said to Roy is considered to be one of the greatest guitarists of all time, where Vince was like, I wanted to know for my benefit when that transition occurred for you. Vince is partly referring to this.
Really have a chance to make a mark, I knew that would have to be as a singer. And as the musician that I was, I still, the majority of the time I focused on singing the pretty songs and writing the pretty songs and pointing towards that, realizing that everybody would soon find out I could play. I remember coming to see you play as a little boy, and my dad never stopped talking about it till he dropped dead, was you played with your big toe. You took your shoe off and you started playing with your big toe, and that fractured him for the rest of his life.
Bless his heart. That just proves I would do anything it took to get through a show. And I really did. It's in fact, comedy was another thing that helped me get into doing vocals and instrumentals, because I wanted to always be the first one to laugh at me. If I was going to do something and somebody walked up and said, are you serious? I could say, no, are you kidding me? I'm not serious. This is not what I do.
Those expressions sold it, though.
The expressions.
Yeah, the expressions.
Even a big toe and an expression, whatever it takes.
Well, you're one of the most beloved men that's ever.
Good Lord.
That's true.
Hey, Mr. Roy.
Yes, sir.
I want to know how you transitioned into being Cousin Roy on the Hillbillies.
How I did what with him?
How you started being Cousin Roy on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, if you remember that series, I did 3 of those shows that I became my own mother on there. And I was sitting, at the time I smoked cigarettes, and I was sitting in the dressing room by myself in this get-up of an old lady. And I looked in the mirror at myself, this sweet little old lady with a cigarette in her, and I took it and put it out, and I didn't smoke for a week. Yeah, little old ladies don't smoke.
I think that's a whole big part of your gift is how you turned up on the screen. People were drawn to you and taken with you, and you always did it well.
Well, bless your heart. I grew up in television. I felt, and still do, feel very comfortable with it. I don't look at a camera as a piece of equipment. I look at it as a person. So I play to that person. And television has been very good to me.
Sure.
And I've sometimes wondered if I had been in a different era, like later on when television was so established, would I have had the success that I did through the years. George and I go back to when I played on his first network television show out of Washington. And so anybody that would let me on, I was the first one there. Except with Jimmy Dean. I was too late a couple times with Jimmy, and it cost me a job. But we never had a cross word. And I do want to clarify that. That's one of the second questions that I'm asked on any kind of an interview. They say, is it true that Jimmy Dean fired you? I said, yeah, but he put up with me a lot longer than anyone else would have. And
that's nice.
8 o'clock to him meant 8 o'clock. It didn't mean 8:05 or 8:10. With me, anywhere in that vicinity was close enough.
Personality.
And finally, he, after he let me go, Well, I have to, if I may.
You got the mic.
About 2 weeks, yes, I did. 2 weeks after he let me go, I was riding my motorcycle, which is what caused me to lose my job. And I realized that he was playing in this club that we had played when I was with him. So I pulled up at the front door. I was going to go in and just listen to him. And Jimmy at that time was playing accordion. And just as I pulled up to the front door, this guy come walking out. And it sort of startled him. He said, "Why don't you just ride it on in?" I said, "If there was someone to hold the door open." Well, he just stood back like Sir Walter Raleigh and called my bluff, and I goosed it, and then I went right up to the bar. Well, I knew the guy that owned the place, and everybody got a kick out of it, except some of the ladies that were dressed in their finery. And I had an old raggedy motorcycle, and it was just spurting blood everywhere. And, I mean, not blood, oil. If I'd have stayed, it would have been blood. But when Jimmy saw who it was, he dropped that one end of the accordion. And I looked, and he was trying to get it back by pulling on those bellows. And the guy said, that owned the place, he said, "Roy, I don't mind you being in here, but it is against the law. And by now, word has got out that you are inside this establishment on a motorcycle. If I was you, I'd leave." And I said, "I believe you're right." So I cranked it up, cranked his spark back, and oil just all over these ladies. And away I went. And here I am today. Thank you for putting that in there.
All right, that's a good place to stop right there, Ronnie. It turned into the Roy Clark show. And I'm sure Vince was aware of it because everybody's there to honor Bill. But I mean, Roy Clark, I mean, when he tells stories, you're all laughing and you're like, "Oh, we could put up with this for longer." And I'm sure they'll play off of some of these stories a bit later. But Roy is such a legend in country that you give him the latitude on this. Now, one thing that we didn't see yet, I mean, Jamie Johnson, I guess these episodes were filmed at different times because some of the artists, of course, most of the people in the room were there for episodes 1, now here for 2. I already did 3, so they were there for that. But Jamie Johnson is not in this one. Charlie Pride is in this one, but wasn't on number 3. So I'm wondering if we're going to hear Charlie sing a song or not. I don't know if everybody gets a chance at some point to sing a song, but Tia Goins sang something already. Rhonda Vincent did as well. Buddy Cannon did, Peel Me a Nanner, and all that. But we're going to find out how things go. All right, guys, you could thank funRonni for this fun episode. Anytime you see Roy Clark, you're going to start laughing. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.
Steve Wonder's record is like number 1. Steve and I are standing backstage at the Opry, and Roy comes in. He comes walking down the hall, and he never looks, he never says hello to me, he never says hello to Steve. He walks right between us, and he gets to us, he says, "I put it back in the act."
I had to.